We all know of climate change, and that any considerable reduction to greenhouse gas emissions requires significant changes to our everyday lifestyle. What many of us don't know is by changing how our cities are designed, many negative environmental effects can be eliminated while greatly improving our quality of life.
80% of all the greenhouse gas comes from cities and towns. That's because 80% of all Canadians and Americans live in cities and towns.
With over 20 years of research, UBC's School of Architecture and Landscape Architecture has accumulated a set of principles that contribute to a more sustainable urban landscape. Many of these principles evolved with various charrettes throughout the Vancouver region and encapsulate findings from decades of research and practical experience building sustainable communities. But what exactly are the problems we are trying to solve? Well, a lot of them have to do with how we use and manage the car.
The way in which we've designed our neighborhoods in North America over the last generation or two has been really around the car.
Interconnected streets and walkways promote walking and biking while reducing traffic.
People would be able to work, live and play within a 5-minute distance of their home.
Having things within about a 5-minute walk of where we live is a really important indicator of quality of life.
There's a lot of examples out in the suburban landscape where poor little Johnny lives in a house where he can look over the back fence and he can see the schoolyard right behind him. But unless his mom or dad lets him jump that fence, he has to walk down the cul-de-sac, onto the residential collector, on the arterial, cross a dangerous street, come all the way around in like a 2-kilometer walk to get to something that is right over his back fence. And that's because you don't have a very simple principle in place in a lot of suburban landscapes, which is an interconnected street system which would prevent that kind of insanity.
Of course, the other important part of it has been the integration of local commercial and live-work opportunities, which allow service industries to be right in the neighborhood.
More jobs integrated within neighborhoods helps cut down on travel time while promoting alternate forms of transportation.
We're fighting against probably 2,000 years of practice since the Romans of taking all that rainwater and dumping it into a pipe and getting it out of the landscape as quickly as possible. The consequence of that, of course, is it brings all that dirty and overheated water down to the stream where it immediately kills the fish and then kills everything downstream as well.
Linked greenway systems help preserve natural drainage patterns, as well as encourage recreational activities and provide homes for wildlife. Mixed housing types allows for people from various income levels and family sizes to move in.
One of the critiques of suburban development is that there's a lot of homogeneity and all the houses are the same, the demographic of the people living in those homes is similar.
Diversity leads to sustainability in that it provides for a stronger local economy, promotes equality, and provides a base for richer social ecology. Imagine your neighborhood as one centered not on automobiles, but on people, where streets are for people and natural beauty is embraced, where the things you need most are within a 5-minute walk and where frequent transit links you to the rest of your city. Parks are interconnected and seemingly endless, following natural waterways and protecting what biodiversity remains within our urban landscape. Jobs are integrated more tightly into our neighborhoods, and a substantial portion of our food comes from close to home.
Since we've been pretty wasteful in the past few decades, it's really our special responsibility here in this country, in this region, to lead the way in showing how we can retrofit these communities and make them much more efficient for our kids, but also because it's our responsibility to kids in other parts of the world.
These projects, built out over 20 years, prove that this is not a dream. More importantly, they prove that the choice between dream and nightmare is our own to make.